Hello, America, and everywhere else in the world. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Corey Has a Podcast. I'm your host, Corey Easley, and it is breakfast with Corey. Yes, it is 6 a.m. on a beautiful Saturday morning, and this is my first time ever recording at this time. So it's not a cup of tea. It's a cup of coffee, baby. Cafe Bustelo. You know, you go to the bodega, you hit the corner store, you go in the morning, you're on your way to the train, you grab a cup of coffee because you still haven't realized that having a coffee maker at home and making it old school style is going to save you a ton of money, right? So you make the Bustelo, which costs you nothing to make, costs them nothing to make, and they are cleaning the fuck up. You could just do it at home. We got portable water bottles. We got portable, we got portable blood stoppers. What's a blood stopper, you ask? I don't know. A little Band-Aid goes in a first aid kit. Women use them on that time of the month. You know what I mean? It just stops the blood from getting all over your white pants. I mean, it is summertime after all. You know what I'm saying? Good morning, everybody. All I'm saying is get yourself a portable coffee cup if you got to go, right? Or get up a little earlier. Give yourself some time. What's your morning routine like? I personally like to wake up, give myself time to take a shower that's not rushed, brush my teeth, wash my face. Maybe I need to trim my facial hair a little bit. You know, first thing I do is make breakfast, though. I eat the same shit every day. I eat some eggs, I eat some egg whites, I have some oatmeal, and I have a cup of black coffee. And I drink a lot of water, which makes it impossible to get to work without having to pee, right? So halfway through my trip, it looks like I want to kill someone. But that's just only because I have to use the bathroom and not because the commute in New York City is a pain in the ass. I'll tell you what, I was on the train the other day, and there was a lady that got on and did exactly what I said a couple episodes back. She was holding a sign about how she's got these two kids that needed to eat. Well, she's got two kids that were walking, right? These two kids were big enough to walk around. And then she's got the one kid in the papoose. And papoose. And she's got the sign. And she was one of those stop and stand directly in front of you types, which is always like, ma'am, I fucking saw you. From the era I'm from, I was raised to call women ma'am. Ma'am, I saw you already, and I could read the fucking sign. I'm sorry. The reason I put my head down is because I didn't want to have to tell you no directly. But now you're forcing me to. But when she got on the train, at least that when you go to CVS and you buy something, it has the decency to let you choose whether you're gonna donate to those kids, right? Do you want to donate to the starving kids in the world? Then you can press the no thanks button, and no one else has to know about it, right? Now, occasionally, I'll hit yes. Fun fact about me, because I really hope. You know the thing that bothers, if you can't see it in front of you, it makes it harder to care about it, right? It's harder to care about something. It's not like human because it's just a machine that you're looking at, right? I had a really interesting conversation with my dad yesterday about it, who recently thought he was having a heart attack, and I went to go see him yesterday and spent some time with him, sat with him for a couple hours, and he was totally fine and normal, but it really made me start to worry a little bit, God damn, is this what I got to look forward to? Me worrying about something bad happening to my parents because I'm getting older now, so I guess they're also getting older. But I digress. So, my dad's fine, by the way, everybody. He was happy to see me, but he didn't give me a hug. Wasn't happy enough to hug me. He was just happy enough to see me. He wanted another dude to talk to. So there we were. Right, so I'm on the train, and this woman gets on with her 3 sons, one of whom sat down directly across from me. The train car wasn't full. Sat down directly across from me, and it kind of just reminded me of, a scene where somebody's about to get fucking jumped on the train in New York, right? Lady gets on, she's at one end of the cart. kid sits right in front of me, and then the other kid's kind of wandering around like he doesn't know what the fuck is going on. And that's how motherfuckers get jumped. Somebody comes in, travels through the train car, which is prohibited, which seems like it's only prohibited sometimes, because I've seen motherfuckers do it in front of the cops and the cops not say shit. And I get fucking amped whenever the cops pull up on somebody who just walked through the train car, because I'm like, yo, you know why? Because when I was a teenager, I walked through the fucking doors of the train and passed through, and this cop was like, hey, called me over and said, you see that sign right there? And pointed at the sign and humiliated me. And he said, what does that say? I was like, oh, it says passing through the train cars is prohibited. And he said, what does that mean? Oh, it's illegal. Yeah. He didn't give me a ticket, but I'll never forget that. Anyway, so people do it. Anyway, the kid sat in front of me, so when people pass through the train car, historically, a bunch of motherfuckers come through the train car, could be trouble. Or it could just be a homeless person. Or it could be a guy taking a piss and doesn't want to show everybody on the train his dick. But in this instance in particular, you got this woman with a sign with 3 children, 2 of whom had a fucking fresh haircut straight out of the barbershop. I'm like, damn, man, like, at least make these kids look a little disheveled. You got them fucking looking fresh like they're going to Easter Sunday. I'm not buying it, lady. I'm not buying it. I'm probably struggling more than you are. These kids got fucking Jordans on. Like, yo, if I was going to use my kids to make money, I would make them look like fucking homeless bums. I wouldn't take them to get a haircut. Or if they had a haircut, I'd make them put on a fucking baseball cap that looked like someone wore it already for a long time, like in the rain. You know where the front panel of the hat is all wrinkly and shit and like misshapen? Like, and it's not even a real Yankee hat or some shit. Like, it's like just got the New York on it, but it's a bullshit hat. Like, make the kid look bummy. Like, make an attempt. Smear like pudding all over his shirt. Make him wear a white shirt and then roll around in the park or something. Don't just bring some kid with clean fucking clothes with a crispy white t-shirt underneath a goddamn plaid button down with some chinos on and a goddamn pair of boat shoes and a fresh shape up straight out of the fucking barbershop onto the train and make me believe you're struggling. You're not struggling. These kids are on point. Fuck. Jesus Christ. Think a little bit, right? I don't know, man. That shit was weird to me. Kid had a fresh tape up. Shit was wild. I was really thinking about some shit this week. And I was thinking about how people fighting, right? Sometimes I'll look up animated GIFs just to send to my boys. And I'll be on like a random kick, right? Like last week, I was looking up GIFs of women fighting. And not like in the classic, oh, this is sexy, cat fight type shit. I was looking up brutal, vicious, violent women beating the shit out of each other. This was like maybe like 2 weeks ago. And one of them, like one of the girls' titties came out and she's getting thrown around a fast food restaurant. Could have been a Wendy's, right? By this big fat chick who's beating the shit out of this girl. Probably Florida, which makes the most sense to me. Bustelo. Sponsor us, Bustelo. Us. Anyway, or girls fighting in the hood. Like, yo, women fighting, way more violent. Way more violent. Occasionally a dude will bite, but I remember when I was in high school, I saw these girls fight. This girl, Bianca, this Italian girl from one side of the tracks. And then I saw, and I don't know the other girl's name. I actually knew Bianca because she was in like a couple of my classes. And she fought this Jamaican chick from another side of town. And they were just apparently talking shit about each other all day. Yo, you either fight the second you show up. That's how you can tell somebody's a morning person. You fight the second you show up to school, which I got suspended for one time. I'm a morning person, right? So I had an issue with somebody over Facebook. I approached them the moment I got to school and I, quote unquote, assaulted this kid. And then we both got suspended. Thank God, because if it was just me, I would have felt a certain kind of way about it. But I told the kid, you know what it is? I'm a man of my word. I said, hey, listen, I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you in the morning. And then I showed up and I talked to him in the morning. But these girls fought in the afternoon. It was like after lunch. You know, maybe an incident had gone down. You know, maybe Bianca took the last chocolate milk, and chocolate milk was, you know, you got to. It was a first come first serve basis, right? Somebody had something that somebody wanted, and they fought for it because it was still, you know, it was just like you've what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? You have blatantly disrespected me in some way, shape, or form. That's not what the word I'm looking for, but I can't find a better way to say this at the moment. These girls got into a wild fight in the hallway. They walked past each other like a couple of fucking cats or dogs. You ever see two animals that are clearly about to fucking fight? The way they kind of slowly move around each other, like, is this shit gonna go down right now? But the thing is, they started fighting, right? And I've started realizing, like, yo, this Italian girl was gangster as fuck because I think she had a bunch of brothers or some shit, and she was like wailing on this girl. But what girls do, the first thing they do is they start grabbing chunks of each other's hair. Yo, she had chunks of the girl's hair in her hands at the end of the fight. She pulled the girl's hair out. She's fucking bashing her skull with her goddamn fist. And, you know, I miss those times. I miss the times where you could just get into a fist fight. Now it's like, yo, motherfuckers will stab you or shoot you. Like, I think about this quite often. I think about this a lot more often than I'd like to admit. I don't give a shit to admit it. I'll be honest. I think about this at least once or twice a week. I wish that fist fighting was legal, and I wish that it didn't matter if it was a man on a man or a woman on a man or a woman on a woman or a man on a man. I wish it didn't matter. As long as you did not use a weapon, you could legally fist fight anybody you want to handle your problems. I think it would alleviate some stress from the police. And I think this is the thing, right? If the person's fighting you back, then it's a fight, right? Not like you can't attack someone. You can't just assault someone that doesn't want to fight. You know what I mean? Because that would be different, right? Like if there's like a domestic abuser or something, he's beating the shit out of his partner, or she's beating the shit out of her partner, right? But if both of the people want to fight, they should be allowed to fight. Fuck it. If somebody does something to somebody and it deserves them being able to fight, because yo, I would fight a bunch of motherfuckers. You know, people like to pick on you because they know you're not going to hit them. They know you're not going to hit them because you can't. But the world would be a lot different if you could, you know. And if you knew that the person wasn't going to shoot, I would fight a lot of motherfuckers. I'm not scared to lose a fight either. I'm not scared to get my ass beat. I've got my ass beat. But I don't know. I just think we should talk to somebody. You know, like, I don't give a shit about politics. I don't give a fuck about politicians. I think they're all full of shit, no matter who they are. I don't care. Man, woman, black, white, I don't give a shit. I think they all fucking suck, and they, you know, they can't really even, I'm not going to get into it, but if the next person starts saying, hey, listen, legal fistfights, sign me up. I think biting is too much, right? That's what separates us from animals. You start biting motherfuckers, you know, that's a different thing. You bite somebody, they might get sick, you know? If you hit somebody and their nose starts bleeding, that's one thing. If you bite someone's nose off of their face, that's it. That's something else, right? Some people got really sharp teeth, you know? I mean, Mike, and I know you're all thinking about Mike Tyson, but in all fairness, the guy was in biting range, and it was a desperate situation. I think biting probably seems natural, though. You ever think about it like that? Like, biting someone seems like it would be the natural course of action if they're close enough to your mouth. I mean, we fight with our bodies, with everything we got in us. right? Like if someone's trying to grab you and you're doing everything you can to get away from them, you're using every part of your body. Like when you can't control yourself, if someone's tickling you and you're trying to get away from them, you might fucking they might catch a knee to the face because you just are out of control of your body. So I feel like just without thinking, biting might seem natural. Like animals do it, and I think we forget that we are animals. Why not? Why not bite the fuck out of somebody, right? Leave some teeth marks on them. But no, in my world where fist fighting is legal, biting wouldn't be allowed, right? We could kind of police ourselves in that one too, right? Like you see two guys fighting on the corner. You kind of like, if you don't necessarily, you're not in a rush to be somewhere, you could stop and kind of like referee that fight a little bit. Like, all right. And then they look at you like, who won, right? And you're like, and then you declare the winner, and then because usually, I remember when I was growing up, I remember anytime I got into a fist fight with somebody, afterwards you gain a certain level of respect for them. You kind of just are like, all right, okay. You showed me who you are. You get hit. You know that feeling when you get hit in the fucking face and you feel a little dizzy? You know, they catch you right in the fucking eye and it's like a little bit like you just took a school photo. You're like, oh, shit. You know, that'll wake you the fuck up. Everybody got a plan till they get punched in the face. Hey, this is the punched in the face episode. A lot of people haven't gotten punched in the face. Ask somebody. Have a conversation with somebody you know today. Have you ever been punched in the face? And they'll be like, no. A lot of people would say no. I come from a place where I'd be surprised if you didn't get punched in the face. Now, I don't think my mom's ever been punched in the face, but, you know, that's my mom. Also, we just think about our parents differently. My dad's been punched in the fucking face. Probably deserved it. And I'm sure my dad's punched a lot of fucking people in the face because that's the era he's from. And it was back in the day, right? Men fought each other all the time. Men love beating the shit out of each other. And women love beating the shit out of men, right? Nobody likes to talk about that. But anyway, I'm learning a new skill. I want to share that with you guys. I'm learning how to brush my teeth with my left hand. Whoa! I'm trying to teach myself to become ambidextrous little by little. There's a lot of skills I don't possess. Number one, I've shared this with you many times. I cannot whistle with my mouth. Number two, I cannot snap my fingers because my hands were made wrong. So and everybody's like, you're just probably not doing it right. And it's like, oh, God, and you're going to just put me through this again. And it's so fucking heartbreaking. My hand. And, it's just, these are two skills that I don't possess. I can do a lot of fucking things. I'm good at that. I'm one of those people, actually, that is pretty good at most things that he tries to do. But that's because I carefully select the things I try to do, right? You got to practice. You know, you got to be fearless, too, when you're trying to do shit. Like, people are afraid to suck at stuff. Oh, I can't do that. Why? Because I'm going to suck. And it's like, yeah, that's part of the learning process. Suck a little bit. Sucking is kind of fun. You ever suck? Just start sucking. Sucking on a titty. I remember I was working with my kettlebell coach, and I was holding the kettlebell too hard. He's like, listen, man, you got to gently touch it, man. You got to touch that thing like you grabbing on a titty. And I was like, ooh, I know how to I know how to do that. We got to, you know, that's how you meet somebody where they are, right? Grabbing on a titty. He looked at me, he said, this guy's grabbed on a few titties. This will help. That's what coaching is, right? Communicating like that. What's going to work? What's going to make this person understand exactly what I'm trying to get them to do? You meet them at their level, right? That's how you do it. Excellent coach. Shout out to Coach Maverick. Follow him on Instagram. He's actually got new programs up. And if you're interested in kettlebell training, look up Coach Maverick. The guy's an expert. The guy's super cool. He is ageless and timeless. Okay? And if you're in Florida, go fucking find him. I found out some interesting news this week, actually, that, I never think about this because I'm not affected by it. That's just honest, right? Blind people get horny. They want to jerk off. They can't watch porn. But there's audiobooks of porn. Apparently, there's porn on Spotify. I didn't know about this. But I've been watching this podcast called Stiff Socks, and they had legendary guest porn star Lisa Ann on there. And but I've been checking, which was awesome. And then they had super charismatic, super cool, beautiful woman. And they were just talking just casually about all these things. And one thing came up. I don't think it was in this episode in particular, but I got into the show a little bit. Started subscribed, right? I hit the subscribe button. I got no shame. And they talked about that, for the visually impaired, you can sit down and imagine. And it's got the gushy sounds. It's got the macaroni in a pot. That's some wet ass pussy. Yo, if I never hear that song again, I'd be stoked. But I'll tell you what, man. I talk a lot of shit. Macaroni in a pot is one of the most brilliant lines I've ever heard in my life. I'm kidding. I would rather listen to the theme song of the fucking Brady Bunch than listen to Cardi B music. No shade, right? How do you say that and then go no shade? No offense. No offense. Another hot take about music, actually, while I'm on the subject, is I'm going to go out here and say it. Nobody wants to admit this shit, but I will right here, right now. And I was talking to my best friend about this, and he agreed with me. And he said to me, because I said it, and he said, and that is why we are best friends. But in fairness, there was a reason why he said it. So the Alien Ant Farm version of Smooth Criminal came on the other day. And I got a skateboarding background. I love that sound. I love that type of music. It's like digga 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 ding ding, digga ding ding, digga ding ding. Digga 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 ding ding, digga ding ding, digga ding ding. Annie, are you okay? Say, Annie, are you okay? The Alien Ant Farm version of Smooth Criminal is better than the fucking pedophile Michael Jackson version. Was he just only accused of being a pedophile, or was he actually a pedophile? Stay tuned. The guy's dead, right? Yeah, I like the Alien Ant Farm version better. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not to sit here and say, I know I just said some things about Michael Jackson. I love Michael Jackson, okay? I love his music. I grew up wishing I was that cool. I just like that song better. And I said it in front of a room full of people the other day, and the whole room stopped. The whole room stopped, right? Like, you would have thought I said 9/11 was fake or some shit, the way this room stopped. And I was like, hey, I said it was a hot take. And then I just fucking vanished into the bushes like Homer Simpson because I thought that I was going to get fucking burned at the stake or stoned in the middle of a town square. Can you believe they would make someone stand in the middle of the town square and throw rocks at them until they died? That sounds horrible. Like, that's worse than what we did to Ted Bundy, without question. Anyway, that's I gotta get ready to get the hell out of here. But I'm gonna leave you guys on this. I found out that there are rats that live in the woods. Yes, it always comes back to animals for me somehow for some reason. There are rats that live in the woods that have 3D panoramic vision. They have like night vision. Like, if you wear night vision goggles, they have that just like at night. Oh, don't all animals have that at night? I guess so. But I heard this week. And anytime I hear some shit like that, I'm just always like, yo, but how the fuck do we actually know that? Well, the scientists can look at the retina and the cornea of the animal and actually figures out the way they see. I don't know, man. I don't know enough about this. I'm going to do a little bit more research and I'm going to come back to you, but I just really fucking have a difficult time accepting the belief that we just know the way that we can see from a rat's perspective in any way, right? I know they're intelligent animals. I know they're really good at fucking and making more rats because there's so goddamn many of them. I live in a city full of rats. I think there's like 8 rats for every person, and there's like almost 10 million people in this fucking city. So think about that. You know, they could overpower us if they want. You know, remember Rat Kings when people were like, oh, you know, you see a Rat King? I guess it's just a bunch of rats that form a giant Voltron monster together, and they fucking walk around knocking buildings over. Yeah, you ever look at a rat's balls? You ever get a chance, next time you see a rat in the subway, look at how huge their testicles are. Rats have huge testicles, just like chimpanzees. So that's your assignment for the week, right? Look at some rat balls, all right? Out here running around looking for some rat pussy. All right, guys. Take care of yourselves. Take care of the fucking people you love. And have an excellent week. Love ya. Later.